Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another English reading of the Holy Quran, translation and commentary by Abdullah Yusuf Ali, published by the Islamic Propagation Center International in Durban, South Africa. And we are busy with chapter 16. We are trying to come now, inshallah, to the end of chapter 16 from verses 120 to 128. And we are busy now with part number 10, which will bring us to the concluding part of this magnificent and wonderful chapter. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Okay, Inna Ibrahim kana ummatan. Okay, Allah. Right. Let's continue. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Abraham was indeed a model, devoutly obedient to God and true in faith, and he joined not gods with God. So he was a symbol of Tawheed, right? That there is only one God. Very, very important concept. He was not of the mushrikun. The minute you say that God is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that is known as shirk, a very, very big sin, for which God in His mercy does not forgive that type of blasphemy. He forgives anything else except the sin of shirk. So let's start again. Abraham was indeed a model, devoutly obedient to God and true in faith, and he joined not gods with God. He showed his gratitude for the favors of God, who chose him and guided him to a straight way, the Siratul Mustaqim, and we gave him good in this world, and he will be in the hereafter in the ranks of the righteous. So we have taught thee the message, we have taught thee the inspired message. Follow the ways of Abraham, the true in faith, and he joined not gods with God. He was not of the mushrikeen, he was of those of Tawheed, that there is only one God. This theme goes throughout the Quran, that there is only one God. The Sabbath was only made strict for those who disagreed as to its observance, but God will judge between them on the day of judgment as to their differences. Invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. For thy Lord knoweth best who have strayed from his path. This is the invitation. This is the Dawat, invitation to a wedding or a royal feast. So basically Islam is an invitation to a royal feast. So basically it is an invitation that here's a wedding card, an invitation card, please come join us at a royal feast. You can either come and join, eat the food, and then you can leave. If you join us, you can eat of the buffet. Maybe you want to taste more of the foods, and then you can know a bit more about Islam. So Islam is basically simply an invitation to a royal feast. If you don't want to come to the invitation, it is to your own loss. But the Creator of the heavens and the earth is inviting you to come to this magnificent royal feast and to taste some of the magnificent things that are laid out for all of mankind. And those who are part of sending out the invitations must do it with wisdom, must do it with beautiful preaching, and must argue with ways that are best, not with arrogance or with debating, harsh debating, but with be most gracious, most kind, and with the best of manners, right? So let's just look at this, because I think this is very important. Let's look at the footnote here, 2161. 2161. In this wonderful passage are laid down principles of religious teaching which are good for all time. But where are the teachers with such qualifications? We must invite all to the way of God and expound His universal will, but we must do it with wisdom and discretion, with meeting people on their own ground and convincing them with illustrations from their own knowledge and experience, which may be very narrow or very wide. It depends on their paradigm or their world view. Our preaching must be not dogmatic, not self-regarding, not offensive, but our preaching must be gentle, considerate, and such as would attract their attention. Our manner and our arguments should not be acrimonious, but modeled on the most courteous and the most gracious example, so that the hearer may say to himself or to herself, "This man is not dealing merely with dialectics. He is not trying to get a rise out of me. He is not trying to provoke or make me angry. He is sincerely expounding the faith that is in him, and his motive is the love of mankind and the love of God." Right? So that should be our focus. Invite all to the way of thy Lord with wisdom and beautiful preaching, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. For thy Lord knoweth best who have strayed from his path and who receive guidance. And if you do catch them out no worse than they catch you out. But if you show patience, that is indeed the best cause for those who are patient. Sabirin. And do thou be patient, for thy patience is but from God, nor grieve over them, and distress not thyself because of their plots. For God is with those who restrain themselves and those who do good. So if you have patience, then God is with you. If you restrain yourself, God is with you. If you are doing good things, God is with you. Right, that brings us to the end of this chapter, Surah Nahl, and it also brings us to the end of the 14th para, or the 14th juz of the Quran. 14 out of 30. Alhamdulillah, we are nearly halfway there. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us. Ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Join me in the next episode when we will be looking at the chapter known as Bani Israel, but it is also known by other words, which is also known as Isra wal Mi'raj, and that is a term that I prefer, so I will refer it to it as chapter Al-Isra. Right? So it's also known as Al-Isra. Chapter 17 of the Quran. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen.